Right.
Adam, Windass, welcome.
How do?
You lurk on the forums as at Adamski, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Is that in reference to the early '80s
It
Bronski?
is.
Is
It
it?
is. It's a one of my many nicknames with a surname like Windass.
Uh,
Can imagine. So I tend to stick to Adamski wherever possible.
so when did you first join Man v Fat? You were quite early towards the beginning, I think, weren't you?
I think it was, yeah. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I do remember seeing something on. I think it was a Facebook link or something
Mm.
aimed at fatties, and I always kind of pick stuff like that up and just saw the link and went along and had a look and thought, yeah, I'll sign up to that. So yeah, I think it was. I don't think it was very early days, but it was quite early days, yeah.
Okay, and I mean, just to give us a bit of background to you. How old are you, by the way?
Over 21, mid 40s.
Right,
Yeah,
fair enough.
I'm 46.
And how long have you been dieting for? What was the sort of drive to diet?
Since I was about 18, really.
Yeah, yeah, likewise.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a lifelong thing. Half my problem's been that for the most part of my adult life, I played rugby,
Yeah.
not at a very high level, but at a competitive level. So I was playing once a week, training twice a week, and doing a lot of other stuff around that.
Mm.
And when I hit 40, I retired and carried on eating and drinking like I'd done whilst I was playing.
Yeah.
And whilst I was playing, I was a big lad. I was a front row forward, but there was a lot more muscle than than there is now. So I've kind of put weight on, but it's not good weight. Well, in point of fact, I've actually lost weight, but
Yeah.
the weight that I have got now is I'm carrying the lion's share of it around the middle. So I've tried, and I was successful. A couple of 3 years ago, I got down to my target weight, my goal weight, and life and the universe got in the way of all that, and subsequently, the weight has crept back up. So it's been a constant battle. It's a constant battle, and I'm inherently a lazy sod, right? Because I do work long hours. I've got a very stressful job, and part of the I'm not a morning person, so I've always tried to kind of get out of bed in the morning and go and exercise, and I might as well just not bother. If I can at all during the working day, I can exercise at lunchtime, and usually find that is pretty much the best time of the day for me. On an evening after work, by the time I'm done, logged off, home, it's like a torturous process.
Yeah.
So part of my battle is finding the right time to exercise, but also having the kind of the nutrition strategy, if you like, to eat the right things.
Yeah.
Because on the road, I work in IT sales, so on the road, working from home, out at the client's site, you just tend to grab something to eat. And that's the problem. I'm not a big drinker. I do like a drink every now and again, but I'm not a big drinker, so it's not drink related. It's just laziness, frankly, on my part, that I've got to try and break the cycle.
Yeah.
And when I read stories about other guys on the site that have broken the cycle or are in the process of breaking the cycle and making life-changing decisions and about the habits and the way that they do things, that's where I kind of draw the inspiration from.
Yeah.
Being the sort of person that I am a what's called a type A personality. If I have a goal, I'll get there.
Yeah.
It might take me a while, it might be unpleasant, and it might get ugly, but I'll get there. And this year, I make no excuses, but this year, at the beginning of September, we moved house for the second time in 12 months. And on this coming Saturday, i.e. 2 days from now, we get married. So, I kind of convinced myself that I needed to lose weight because I didn't want to see a fat lad in the wedding photographs.
Yeah.
But equally, with the pressure of work, the stress of everything else that's going on, it's just not happened. So I'm kind of, my mindset is, okay, after the wedding, after the honeymoon, that's when I start again.
But stop right there, because you're being deeply unfair to yourself. Because I mean, where are you in terms of weight currently? You have lost some weight, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I've lost since I started trying to lose weight earlier this year. I'm about a stone down from where I was.
And I mean, this isn't just me saying it, but you certainly wouldn't look at you and go, "Oh, look at the fat lads." That's just not what I'm seeing.
No, and I get that. I get that a lot from people because I'm what's called stocky.
Yeah.
right? So, I'm not a build for a marathon runner. I'm a build for a rugby player to,
Yeah.
to carry a ball and run into people. That's what I was built for, and that's why I played rugby for as long as I did. So from top to bottom, I'm just a unit,
Yeah.
right? And one of the things that is leveled at me quite a lot when I say, God, I need to lose weight, I'm dieting on this and that. People always say to me, you don't look like you're carrying a load of weight.
Yeah.
But that's because I've learned over the years to dress in a certain way that doesn't make me look like a fat knacker, but makes me look like a big lad. Because I am a big lad.
Isn't it weird the way that people, comment on other people's appearance when they say, oh, I need to lose weight, I need to, I'd like to shift some weight, and then they go, oh, you don't look like you need to. It's weird, isn't it? It's like it's something that's from within you. You choose whether to lose weight or not. I suppose people just feel like they're being polite.
I know that I'm uncomfortable. I know that when I'm sat in a long meeting with a client with a shirt and tie and a suit on, the one thing that I'm always looking forward to is getting home and getting it off.
Yeah.
Undoing the tie and getting the trousers off, and it's just an uncomfortable feeling. So you know in yourself. My other half always says to me, you don't need to lose weight. I love you as you are, which is really nice. But I need to lose weight because I don't love me as I am.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. The big difference is, how I feel about me when I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I always see a fat lad looking back, and it's a difficult thing to deal with, because once you get this mindset that I'm a fat lad and I'm going to try and lose weight, and the weight doesn't fall off, at 14 stone in a day, to quote Peter Kay, it doesn't fall off like that. There's a tendency to get a little bit despondent and think, oh, fuck it, I'm sorry, I'll go and have a pie, because I'm miserable. I'll have a pie, and then I might have a bit of another pie. And that's a kind of a spiral that I'm sure a lot of guys that do bother to listen to this or watch this video will kind of relate to, because you just think, why am I bothering? I'm miserable, I'm fed up, I'll have a pie. And it's a difficult cycle to break. It is a difficult cycle to break. And I think it is because of that cycle that a lot of us are in the position that we are, that we haven't been able to really get our weight under control, because we know we need to, but we always kind of shove it to the back of our minds and go, do you know what? It's not going to fall off as quickly as I'd like, so I'll just have a pie.
But do you think that's... I think that what you're describing there is classic emotional eating, but I just don't think that that's ever been translated properly for men, where you actually understand the process that goes through, where you do get frustrated because perhaps diets haven't worked out as quickly as you wanted them to. And that sense, I mean, I've been there and done it and worn the much bigger T-shirt, but it's that sense of, eating to punish yourself in a way. Is that something that happens with you then?
Yeah, I am an emotional eater. My fiance, soon to be wife, I think would attest to that, because if I just kind of grab stuff, right, and especially on an evening, when I've had a busy day or I'm trying to relax or whatever, it's always so easy to kind of go into the kitchen, open the fridge, and think, right, I'll have one of them, two of them, three of them, and I'll start the diet tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it is, without going into kind of personal stuff and personal issues, it's all interrelated. I'm not overweight because I'm a greedy bastard. I'm overweight because I've got, along with a lot of the fellas that are going to be watching this, I've got issues, I've got challenges, and there are things in my life that make me turn to food, probably sometimes unwittingly turn to food for that kind of almost reassurance that, everything's going to be fine. And I've got to try and break that cycle. I'm doing things to try and break that cycle of emotional eating. Not just emotional eating, but emotional problems, emotional things. And I'm doing stuff around that, which I'm hoping will help me to improve other areas of my life, and then give me the kind of the ammunition that I know what I should be eating. I know how I should be exercising. I've been down at my goal weight 2 or 3 years ago, and I felt brilliant. I felt brilliant, right? And then here I am, sort of 2 and a bit stone heavier than I was 3 years ago, and I think, right, well, I've got 50 pounds to lose. I'm not going to put it on. I'll take it off in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I've got to sort of say to myself, right, if I want to lose 50 pounds at £1 a week, it's going to take me a year. And I've got to get that mindset that says it's not going to fall off.
No.
It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some hard work, dedication, and some life-changing things, different habits to help me to accept that I've got myself into this position by, overeating 500 calories a day for a year, for example. So in order to get myself out of this position, I've got to undereat 500 calories a day for a year. And it's understanding that it's not the understanding of that that's the issue.
No.
The issue is sometimes, life sucks. Sometimes days get on top of me. Sometimes shit gets on top of me, and I just turn to food. Right, not in a massive way, not in a gorging myself way, but I eat more calories per day than I should do. I'm not greedy. I'm not I don't devour food, but there are days when I do eat 500, 600 calories more than I should do, and that's why in 2 or 3 years I've put 2 and a bit stone on.
Yeah. What was it? Contrast where you were, as you said, you felt fantastic when you were at your goal weight. What did you do to get there that you're not doing now?
Get that straight. Get that straight. Because I'd got the headspace. I'd got everything. Like I say, I'm goal driven. When I've got a goal, I get there. Might be ugly, but I get there. And it was ugly. It took me 2 and a bit years to get to my goal weight, right? And that was a combination of some weeks doing really well, other weeks not so well. With some weekends going out and getting blathered and having a curry, and other weekends not doing that. But going regularly to the gym, doing a lot of cardio stuff as well as lifting weights. Because the other things with a lot of guys is and I'll put my hand up as well, is when you go to the gym, you need to lift heavy shit, right? And over a period of time, you can train your body to do that. But one of the things that a lot of the guys won't do is go into a spin class, for example, with a lot of girls, right? And the spin was my saviour as far as losing weight, right? As far as getting a really good workout and sweating like I don't know what, and really burning some calories. Spin was my saviour, and I did 3 spin classes every week religiously, right? Almost to the detriment of everything else that was going on in my life. So being goal driven sometimes has its disadvantages because the world came to a stop because I was doing a spin class.
Did you enjoy them?
Pardon?
Did you enjoy them?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Anything that has me sweating, like I'm the sort of person that sweats just walking up the stairs. Not because I'm unfit, not because I'm unfit necessarily, but because that's my kind of genetic makeup. My father was like it, my son's like it. But anything that gets me, blowing hard and sweating works for me. I really do enjoy that buzz. Part of the problem is getting there in the first place to actually go and do it.
Yeah.
But when I do get there, I really, really enjoy it.
But as you say, that's about having your head in the right space to actually say, this is what I'm doing, this is the direction that I'm moving in. And understandably, when you've got other massive life events going on, everyone knows what that's like. When it's so difficult to keep focused on your weight, which does require, having some extra functional brain capacity, because it requires some time, some effort, some planning. All those things. I mean, you can get better at them, and you can make it so that they're not as consuming. But then, I think more it's about having that headspace in the first place to actually feel positive about what you're doing and say, this is going to be a good thing for me. This is where I'm going to change. The one thing that we haven't really discussed is food and what you eat. Do you eat according to a nutritional plan, a diet, or is it just the fact that you reduce quantities and look at health?
I try. I use the word "try" in inverted commas. Right? I try to stick to what the NHS website guidelines sort of stuff. So protein, complex carbs, try and cut as much sugar out as possible. There's a lot of debate at the moment around fat versus carbohydrates. Does fat make you fat? Right? And there's so much on the internet. And I try not to kind of to read too much into that, because 10 years ago they were telling us that fat was the enemy. Now they're telling us that sugar's the enemy. So come on guys, make a decision. But I do try and live by that motto that if I eat healthily and regularly and eat enough so that I'm not starving, because I think that, what's the expression? Deprivation leads to deviation.
Yes.
Right? If you deprive yourself of stuff that you enjoy, eventually you're going to go and gorge on it, right? So I really like, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, I really like quavers. You know, the
Yeah.
walkers. I love quavers. I could absolutely live on them. But you know, I found when I lost weight the last time around, rather than cutting them out, I'd look forward to a bag on a Friday night.
93 calories. What's wrong with them? Yeah.
Not, well, there's nutritional as a brick, you know, brick, but you know, it's a treat. And,
Yeah.
and at the end of the week, you think, right, well, actually, do you know what? I'm going to have a pint tonight, and I'm going to have a packet of quavers.
Mm.
And I think it's that moderation. If you can get into a cycle of moderation and eating stuff that, you know, might not be nutritionally brilliant or particularly good for you, but just enjoy it in moderation.
Oh, I think we might have lost the video connection, Adam. Just oh yeah, we're back. Okay, sorry. Carry on. Moderation.
Okay. I think when I have got my headspace right, I think if I try and do things in moderation rather than depriving myself of stuff and feeling like I'm eating lettuce all the time, then I'll succeed. But because I know what works for me, right? I've tried Weight Watchers, I've tried Slimming World, and yeah, you know, the weight does come off, but that's sitting in a room and oh God, no thanks. I'd rather kill myself. You know, the weekly meetings. Yeah. But I did. The one thing that I did use, and you might want to. I don't know if I can plug this or not, but it was a website called Weight Loss Resources.
I know it well. Yeah, very good.
Right, and I've been with it for years actually, but sometimes I've just not used it. But I found that being, you know, My Fitness Pal is another one that's free of charge, but I couldn't relate to My Fitness Pal. Weight Loss Resources is a, you know. Sorry, it's a few quid a month, and it allows you to, you know, count your calories, build up in much the same way as My Fitness Pal. There are forums on it, predominantly female, I have to say, so I don't tend to use the forums that much. But my way of losing weight is calorie counting, right? Because calories in, calories out, all that stuff. Dress it up as Weight Watchers or Slimming World or whatever it is you want to do. It all amounts to the same. It's about what goes in versus what goes out. And you know, if I can stick to using the Weight Loss Resources mechanisms and their tools for counting calories and measuring the amount of calories that I've burnt with exercise, because I've got one of those heart rate monitors, you know, when you exercise, that worked. It worked phenomenally. So going back to your question, what is it that you need to do to get to that point of losing weight? It's all up here. It's getting to the starting line again and thinking, right, I can forget about the stresses of moving house, because that's happened. I can forget about the stresses of arranging a wedding.
Don't let her sit here, you say that.
Well, and then go on honeymoon, come back, and that's exactly what I did the first time around. I was on holiday. I saw an ad it was actually a ladies' magazine, Hello or something like that, because I do read that sort of stuff. And guys watching, you do
too, yeah. I've never read Hello.
But I saw the ad on holiday, and I was sick of. I saw the holiday photographs. It was about 2009, something like that. Saw the holiday photographs and just hated what I saw. So I made a note of the Weight Loss Resources website, and the day I got back from holiday, literally the day I got back from holiday, I logged in and signed up for 3 months, and that was the start of my journey in weight loss. So that's where I need to get to again. Once the other stuff in my life has kind of sorted itself out a little bit. Well, it's all up here for me.
It's really good to talk to you, Adam. The obviously, huge congratulations, and I hope you have a fantastic day over the weekend.
Thank you.
Have a great wedding. Have a great honeymoon. I fully understand the process you're going through. It's that point where you've said, not until this has happened, then I will focus on it. And as you say, because you've given yourself that instruction, you will follow it. It's just, I suppose, it's about moderating how you do it so that it can become a lifelong thing rather than a yo-yo thing. Because obviously the last thing you want to do is go through this process of losing the 50 pounds and then have to do it again at some point in the future. Now, obviously that's a different challenge, but equally, you know that you are completely capable of that because you've done it before and because you can tell just from talking to you. And that's fantastic. You know, it's a really positive point to be at, really, because you've done something up to this point so that you're feeling a little bit better about yourself. You've got your wedding to look forward to, the honeymoon to look forward to, and then you've got this change to look forward to as well. Because I think there's no reason not to look forward to it, because it's going to give you so much more.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fantastic, excellent talking to you. I'll just